My name's George Haddad. I'm from Fabulous Restorations in Fort Lauderdale. We are putting on a little marketing exercise for the Cunningham Automotive company that builds commemorative Cunningham C8s. We have a Cunningham C4R Coupe, and the rest of the cars, some raced here, some raced at Le Mans. So we have the 260 Le Mans cars, the number 3 that won Le Mans, and the number 1 car, I believe, was third.
Bob Grossman nervously awaits his turn with the inspectors with the number 1 car. The Corvette team sits proudly, awaiting the command of their drivers. And the race is on. The Corvettes get away cleanly.
The balance of the cars, some raced here and won here, and others raced at other racetracks like Daytona. So starting with this blue car, this is Kevin McKay's real 66 Penske prototype L88 that won Sebring in 1966.
First Grand Touring Division, the Winterstein Moore piloted Corvette Stingray.
This red car next to it is mine. This is a recreation of the car in its vintage livery. That's how it raced at Daytona back in 1966.
Fittingly, Sunoco chose to enter racing at Daytona. World-famed American driver Roger Penske, now retired, teamed with Sunoco in this challenge to the best opposition from Europe or the United States. A stock Corvette Stingray with a 427 cubic inch Chevy engine was prepared to run in the Grand Touring category. Its competition, Porsches, Jaguars, GT350s, Cobras, the best in the world.
So we duplicated and recreated this car completely, all original. We had the help of Gib Hofstetter, who is the reason that these cars existed in the first place. So it's an exact duplication. This is the real car, that's a recreation.
Hello, my name is Kevin McKay. I own a company called Corvette Repair Incorporated in Valley Stream, Long Island, New York. We're in the repair restoration business, and my passion is old nostalgia, vintage race cars with great history, cars that went to Le Mans, cars that went to Sebring, cars that went to Daytona, and so on. So we've been very fortunate, blessed that my team put together some really neat pieces, hunted these cars down. This is one of the last cars that we found a few years back. The restoration was just completed last year in 23. We debuted the number 1, the number 2, and number 3 car that raced at Le Mans in 1960. The first time together in 63 years. So here's the finished product. Who owns the car, which is pretty amazing, is the Cunningham family owns the car. The grandson owns the car. I was able to reach out to the Cunningham family at the National Corporate Museum a couple years ago when their grandfather or father was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So they purchased the car, and it's here today back in its former delivery. If you look carefully, there's Briggs Cunningham himself behind the wheel of the car. We had him custom made. This is the only C2 Corvette that had back-to-back wins at the 24 Hours of Daytona in February of 1966 and the 12 Hours of Sebring of March of 1966. It's a development L88 car. Roger Penske was the original owner of the car. This is his first car as a team owner. And it's got the special Cal hood on it. It has got the special motor in it, which they did in St. Louis in the motor room, believe it or not. We found the car back in 1983. It was Nassau blue. The hood, the reinforcements on the windshield was still on the car. The hood pins were still on the car. The headlight covers were still on the car. The exhaust system was missing. It had Camaro IROC wheels on it. Had the special fuel cap in the back. So the car only has 13,000 original race miles on the car. We know we have complete owner history. I think I'm the 11th owner of the car. Owned the car for over 20 plus years already. And of course, George's car, amazing restoration. He wanted a tribute car. I had a choice. Either I could have made the car red, the way it finished at Daytona in February of '66, or make it March '66 in Sunoco blue. So what happened was, once the car crashed, they put the headlights on the car, which hopefully George explained that to you. And to confirm that, I met with Mr. Penske, and I asked Mr. Penske about the headlight story, and he said to me, Mr. McKay, nobody believes me about that story about the headlights. Everybody thinks I'm full of shit. I said, really? So as he's going through the scrapbook, I had a picture of the headlights duct taped to the existing fenders of the car. He says, Mr. McKay, I can't tell you, you just made my day. This is my most famous Corvette story is with the flashlights. Nobody believes me, and he had Rick Mears next to me. Hey, Rick, come over here. I want to tell you something. What's that, Mr. Penske? Remember the flashlight story? And Rick goes, I know. Come on, Mr. Penske. You can start up with me again? Oh yeah? This is my new friend, Mr. Kevin McKay. He goes, Mr. McKay, can you show him that picture? And there is the picture of the flashlights on top of the story. And Rick goes, I guess it's true. I told you it was true. And the next day later, Mr. Penske sent me an email. Mr. McKay, I just want to let you know here, you made my day. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see the car in person, which he did see it about 6 months later. We're at the Simeon Museum. George was there. Mr. Penske walked around the car and he goes, well, can I look in the interior, Mr. McKay? I said, sure. So he looks in the interior and goes, absolutely my car. Well, how do you know for sure? You see those toggle switches and that special mounting plate? I put that in myself. That's my car. Pretty cool. So it's nice to have these together because it tells a story, because I couldn't paint the car red and then paint it blue. I think, so it's kind of cool that they're together, which is really, because it tells a story about both cars. The way it went to Daytona and the way it went to Sebring.
Hi, my name is Antonio Pierce. I'm the CEO of Cunningham Automotive, located out of Dallas, Texas. And we're here with 3 of our new C8s. We have one of our 60th anniversary Cunningham C8s behind us, which is celebrating our number 3 and number 1 and number 2 Corvettes that ran the C2s that ran at Le Mans in 1960, and the number 3, of course, that won its class at Le Mans, first Corvette to ever do so. And so this car is pretty special. They're basically built out, all of them identical, in our original race livery. Modified engine, transmission, engine, suspension, wheels, tires, brakes. We had a number of great partners involved in this. Lingenfelter did our engine program. Our wheels were done by HRE, still are done by HRE on all of our vehicles. And Alcon joined our team to develop a set of brakes for the car, which now Lingenfelter utilizes in all of their race cars as well. So they proved out to be really fantastic. Peter Stevens was our stylist for the anniversary cars, the famous designer for the McLaren F1. And he designed the ram air scoops, our camera mounts, and all of the parts that are on the car. So these cars are, as I said, they're pretty special, and we're pretty proud of what we've achieved with them. And then with the car behind me, this is the first of our Briggs Carbon editions, which is a full carbon fiber body C8 convertible, the HTC, with a 700 horsepower supercharged motor with Magnuson and Lingenfelter developing that. Again, with this one having all carbon body, wheels, tires, everything is set up as carbon fiber. So we've got our new carbon wheels on here from HRE. Those are just 19.6 pounds on the front wheels, 23.4 on the rear, incredibly light. And then, of course, the all-carbon body, which takes about 200 pounds off of the C8. And then, of course, then we bumped up the power to 700 horsepower. This particular program is a complete engine drop, because we actually mount the intercoolers for the supercharger in the tunnel in between the driver and the passenger, just to keep the weight balance of the car correct. So when this is done with the supercharger, weight balance of the car is exactly what it was prior to the supercharger's installation. We're pretty proud of the fact that we were able to achieve that with Lingenfelter.